Here in the Chesapeake Employers Insurance studio of Pressbox, it is the Pressbox Fantasy Football Show. Glenn Clark, Kyle Ottenheimer, our lovely and talented host, Mr. Ken Zalis. What's going on, KZ?
It's a glorious day. Bright sunshine.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Good to see you. We are into the semifinal round of the fantasy football season. We've got two more. This is our penultimate episode of the Pressbox Fantasy Football Show, which kind of makes me quite sad when I think about it that way. But I'm happy that I'm in all four of my semifinals, so that is good news. Today's show brought to you by CCBC. Supercharge your computer skills with beginner to advanced classes at CCBC. All tuition free if you qualify. 443-840-4700. Of course, the other great news about this week, obviously, we finally get him back. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, Lord. It's terrible. And it's not even because of the worst part about this all is because it's not even because of the shoulder. It's because he pulled a quad muscle while he was working out, rehabbing from the shoulder injury. And it's just a lost season. I mean, maybe you get him back next week. Who knows? Whatever. You can't cut him. I mean,
and there's still like a slim chance he plays this week, right? It hasn't been entirely ruled out.
No,
but it seems
he's not
highly.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
Schechter said he's not playing. He's not playing.
The coach has basically said he's not playing. I mean, they have him as doubtful right now,
which is allegedly a 25% chance.
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
It sucks. And what sucks even more is that there are other injuries abound, and we're not getting Myles Gaskin back and things like that you were hoping some guys will come back. You're looking at, I think he plays, but even Austin Eckler is listed as questionable and quote-unquote game-time decision, but he's going to play tonight. It's tough. But, for those teams that are still involved and you have Christian McCaffrey, you've made do without him. So you got to look at the bright side of it. Somehow, some way, you're piecing together running back tandems without him. Maybe you have Mike Davis, who again, stepped in with his 2 touchdowns last week, and you're fantastic. He's got a great matchup this week. He's a top 10 play for me. You look at different situations. Maybe you get David Johnson back if that's worthwhile this week. Things like that. So it sucks, but at least you weren't the guy that traded him for him 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's a real. What'd you give up? Remind me.
J.K. Dobbins and Jerry Jeudy. Not terrible.
I mean, right?
It was worth it. And even Dobbins would not start for me, even as good as he's been the last couple of weeks. I'm not playing him over the guys that I have in. So
yeah, and who knows?
It was worth a shot.
Maybe I said earlier this week, I still don't really know why he would be coming back at this point. You're the Panthers, you have nothing to play for. There's just no world in which I'm letting Christian McCaffrey play. Now,
I agree with that, but players want to play.
I understand that part of it, but at some point I'm stepping in and saying, we're spending a lot of money on you, and there is no upside to you playing football at the moment. I'm not going to allow you to do it. Now, they're not saying that, and so presumably there's still a chance that he could play next week.
Yep.
But I just wouldn't if I were them. The San Francisco situation in the backfield.
Oh, this is horrible today because, first of all, we don't trust anything that San Francisco does on game day. We don't trust anything that Shanahan says pre-game day. And today there was a report, it seemed that Mostert was 100% not going to play. And today there was a report that possibly he could play, which would just ruin the Jeff Wilson love, and he was the top pickup probably on the waiver wire. Coleman's still active. McKinnon is still there, although he didn't get a snap last week, but he was active. You can't trust him. I still think it's Jeff Wilson. I think Jeff Wilson is playable with or without Raheem Mostert. But he would be in a smash high to mid RB2 territory without him.
You brought up Miami a second ago. Are we having a Lynn Bowden conversation?
I don't know what we're having. Ahmed is supposedly going to be back. Breda was activated. He's supposedly going to be back. I mean, I'm not starting.
Well,
Bowden's
DeAndre in Washington was a big nothing.
Yeah.
Well, Bowden's their slot receiver. He's not even. He's listed. He's eligible at running back.
He is. But he's again. We have to make sure Parker's out. There's some reports that Parker, who we thought was out, may play. Gesicki being out helps him. I'm not starting Bowden
versus New England.
No, at a running back position in fantasy. Like if you want to play him,
right, you should have a better option.
He's a wide receiver or a flex option, but he's not a running back. I mean, I want Melvin Gordon, who I don't like this week, but he's going to get 15 touches. I have no idea how many touches Lynn Bowden's going to get.
Right.
And I get the dual thing, but you want to start running back wide receiver guys as the wide receiver because there are potentials. It's sort of like who was the guy at Green Bay? I forget where he is now.
Tyler
Montgomery. Montgomery was this guy that it was like, okay, he was more a wide receiver, but he's all of a sudden they're starting running back. So it's like, okay, great, I'm going to start him.
You're starting a wide receiver who's actually
spot,
getting.
And I'm going to get running back production. It's sort of like the whole Taysom Hill thing. You start him at a tight end because he was getting quarterback numbers. You don't do it the other way.
You have to be really desperate.
Yeah, I mean, really desperate. Right. There are other guys that I would go.
If I didn't have J.K. Dobbins in one of my leagues, I would be in a situation where he might be as good of a dart throw as a Philip Lindsay or a Benny Snell, you know?
Yeah. But even no, he's not. But yeah. I
don't know how to make it say, no, not at all.
It's not. Because those are backup guys. Like Snell, if Connor doesn't play and there's some questions whether Connor plays. Snell's still the guy, even though they don't even run the ball anymore.
I think they might try that sometime.
I thought they would try it last week because every time Connor started a game, he's gotten 15 touches, and we don't do that anymore. Yeah. So no, I'm not starting him as a running back. Now, if you're desperate at wide receiver, you want to start him as a flex, sure, I can go in that direction. Especially with Gesicki being out, so they'll use some more slot receivers there, but not as a running back.
Are we buying into Cam Akers fully?
Oh, yes. He's the guy. It's finally the Cam Akers show. We've been talking about this since the draft. He was a guy that I touted as a fourth, fifth round running back, RB3 type.
It took a minute.
And look, it took a minute, but we have 2 weeks of data now. He's the guy. I mean, this would take a monumental kind of FU to everybody if we're back with Henderson, Akers, and Brown sharing the load for the Rams. I mean, he got 29 touches on a short week. Now he's got all this. He's the guy. Top 15-ish guy this week.
If Antonio Gibson doesn't play again,
he's not playing.
We're just trusting J.D. McKissick.
He's the only one you can trust there. I mean, they signed Lamar Miller, which means that they need depth, which means that Gibson isn't playing. McKissick's interesting because they're going to have to throw more than they will. The problem is who's playing quarterback. For the Washington football team, but it's McKissick if you need him, especially in a full PPR.
And then are we back to having faith in Miles Sanders? Really glad that I benched him right before he finally became a thing again.
I mean, you have to. He looked like Miles Sanders. Obviously that offense as a whole looked better with Hurts. Because you got to defend the run with Hurts, obviously. We're not back to RB1 status, but he's in that RB2 mix, and for this week.
I'll present you a question here in a second that'll really push that. By the way, what's your warrior? Become it in the Army. Whether you want to cure diseases or develop technology the world doesn't know exists, the Army is where all of that can happen. Find out more by contacting your local Army recruiter. And follow us on social media at U.S. Army Baltimore. Ask yourself, what's your warrior? And go to goarmy.com/Baltimore to find out. Are we a believer in T.Y. Hilton again?
I am. I'm believing in him for right now because of the matchup this week. But for 2 weeks, T.Y. Hilton getting used to a new quarterback, no preseason, was injured, finally healthy. He's had 2 great weeks. I mean, I'm using him in a DFS lineup this week, and I'm using him in a semifinal matchup this week on one of my teams. I think you can, he's still a little touchdown dependent, but the targets have been there. So I'm trusting. I'm trusting because the matchup is really, really good.
Yeah, no question about that. So unfortunately, not everybody is playing on to this point. Paul from Ovilando said, I had Deebo Samuel and ended up losing a playoff game by 13 points, so unfortunately don't have a lineup question. But I was curious to know who KZ would list as his biggest disappointment so far this season and who he'd list as his biggest surprise so far.
So the surprise is easy. It's Justin Herbert. He was. I mean, he's a surprise. First of all, he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year. I did think that that offense would be good enough to support a really good.
Yeah, you were all in on drafting Tyrod Taylor
as a late round flyer.
He was all in.
I was because I saw the offensive pieces in place that.
Yeah, but Justin Herbert stinks. You kept telling me that. You kept telling me how Justin Herbert...
You want to know the best part?
What?
He's probably not playing. If you had Herbert, you're probably not playing this year.
I'm not. Well, I didn't. He was my backup anyway.
I mean,
he may have knocked you out
Sure,
of contention already.
Yeah, right.
But he's been by far...
You don't think James Robinson in the discussion?
Is the biggest surprise. The best waiver wire pickup is James Robinson of the year. He's been a tremendous. Herbert was at least on people's.
After drafting Divine Ezigbo, I picked him up 1 hour later in one league.
Yeah.
1 hour after the draft was over, I said, I'm gonna go pick up this other guy.
I picked him up in a league where it's a fab bid, and everybody was on Ezigbo, and I said, you know what? Let me throw out this $5 bid on James Robinson. Because I liked him on the film that I saw, and I had him as
good vision, right?
Yeah, good vision. Had him as my biggest draft running back sleeper coming into the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I like the player, and I'm like, you're one play away. Everybody likes to use 2. Let me throw him in there, and look at what you found. God, disappointments. There's been so many disappointments. Up until the last 2 weeks, it was probably Lamar Jackson, to be honest with you. Where you took him in drafts. I mean, you had to take him in the second round most places, third round at worst. Some people were taking him over Pat Mahomes as the first quarterback because of the rushing, and it just hasn't worked. Now, we all said about week 8, hey, everybody look at weeks 14, 15, 16 and look at what it is and trade for this dude because we think it's going to get better. But when you go back to drafts and you think about
Godwin's been pretty bad too.
Who you passed up, Lamar's
definitely been a disappointment in fantasy football. There's no question about that.
I mean,
John from Little Rock wants to get an argument in for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who he took in his first round.
Okay. Again, let's all remember what KZ said going into fantasy football drafts.
He said Justin Herbert stinks. Okay? That's what he said. He said he's terrible.
He said, I get all the love with Edwards-Helaire, but I'm not taking him 5th overall, and I'm not taking him in front of these 12 running backs. Now, Joe Mixon,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay? Just Now, we can excuse it because he's been hurt for, forever. It seems like now, but if you took him, ahead of Alvin Kamara with the 4th overall pick, you're kind of pissed off about it. Things like that. Chris Godwin's been disappointing. I mean, because of injury, Kenny Golladay. I mean, we all loved him. DJ Chark.
Throw him in that ring.
DJ Chark has been, just a disaster all year, outside of 3 games and things like that. Marquise Brown, everybody talking about him.
Yep.
People were taking him as a wide receiver 2 in their drafts.
Andrews has been pretty disappointing as well.
Yeah, but
tight end is so bad that
I was just going to say, tight end is
yeah.
so bad that if you took Andrews, you overpaid where you took him.
Still feel like you have
but
one of the
you
better
still
ones.
feel like you have a top 5 guy that you could start every week. Because of injuries, Zach Ertz.
For sure.
Even before the injury, Zach Ertz.
Even before the injury, and things like that. So there are lots of guys, and I do this article after week 16 that I'll give the. I do 3 teams: the all fantasy team, the all disappointment team, and the all waiver wire team, and we'll go through that. But the running backs for the waiver wire, I'll tell you right now, James Robinson and Mike Davis. There's no. I don't even know who else I throw into that mix. But
Damian Harris, maybe.
No, Gaskin was probably a waiver wire guy.
Yeah, waiver wire. Yeah, he was a guy. Yeah, maybe he's the flex guy. He's not the running back guy. But Damian Harris he's had like 3 good games.
For sure.
And that offense just been terrible. So yeah, those are the guys that have been disappointing, and it's as we've said all along, it's been such a weird year that even here we are in week 16 and we're picking up guys off the waiver wire to start them in our semifinals, with money on the line. It's just, the Deebo Samuel, injury is just such a downer, but here we go. Brandon Ayuk, when Deebo Samuel was out, he gets 15 targets.
Even when he's in, he gets.
You look at all these rookies finally that we've been waiting for. I think you can put an all-rookie team together in a DFS lineup this week and feel really, really good about it. Really good about it.
Maybe. I don't think about it. Right.
Robinson, Ayuk. Jefferson,
right? Well, Jefferson's been great all season.
Swift,
Swift, J.K. Dobbins. You can
Jerry Jeudy.
Tight end, you'll have tough time with.
Cole Kmet could be that guy now.
Yeah, Cole Kmet's a rookie.
Yeah, he could be that guy.
I might be
now.
playing him in one of my leagues.
I'm playing him in one of my leagues for sure.
Yeah.
Over probably stupidly, but over Dallas Goedert because. Because
that's where we are.
Here's where we are. But this is what you do, and as I always say, yes, there is luck involved, but you also have to make the right moves at the right time, and constantly churn the bottom of your bench, and this week is no different. If you're looking at your bench right now, there's no way I'm starting that guy. Get rid of him and get somebody that maybe if you're in the in the finals next week, or if somebody gets COVID or gets injured during practice, that maybe you could start tonight. Tyrone Johnson.
Whoever that is.
Chargers wide receiver.
I know who it is.
Mike Davis isn't going to play. Without Mike Williams.
Yes.
Without Mike Williams, this guy got 10 targets last week. Keenan Allen's iffy. Fire this kid up.
You're playing Keenan Allen if he's playing.
Yes.
Obviously.
But if you're not, if Keenan Allen, who's a game time decision, is out this week, Tyrone Johnson's a wide receiver 3 for me.
All right, we'll talk more about that. We don't have as many questions because obviously
not many people playing
are no longer with us. Sadly, we'll remember them fondly.
Yes,
but when we come back in, we will set our lineups for semifinal week. Get your questions in right now. Last call in the comments if you're with us on Facebook Live or at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter. We will set your lineups next. It's the Press Box Fantasy Football Show from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Studio.
Ravens fans, are you always casually rocking purple no matter what day of the week it is? Are you a Ravens trivia master? Well, at M&T Bank, we're big fans of the Ravens flock, and our purple pride runs deep. That's why we're giving you the chance to show off your Ravens flock fandom and test your Ravens trivia knowledge in the M&T Bank Hunt for Purple Scavenger Hunt. Make sure you don't miss out. Visit huntforpurple.com for the opportunity to win some awesome prizes. That's the M&T Bank Hunt for Purple Scavenger Hunt, huntforpurple.com.
Glory Days Grill Fall Winter Seasonal Menu is now available for dine-in, dine-out, on the patio, or to go. It's a new season, so enjoy new flavors. Try their new shrimp appetizers, homemade meatloaf, impossible cheesesteaks, and more. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Visit GloryDaysGrill.com for a location near you. From the Glory Days Grill family, stay healthy and positive during this challenging time in our community.
With Wise Market's lowest price guarantee, we guarantee the lowest price in the area. If a local competitor advertises any of our tagged lowest price guarantee items at a lower price, we'll give you double the difference with purchase.
Eat better, spend less, that's wise.
Looking to get one up on the competition? Supercharge your computer skills. CCBC has classes at all levels from beginner to expert coder. Explore Microsoft Office, gaming, or even ethical hacker. Maybe hardware is your gig. Become A+ certified. All tuition free if you qualify. Call 443-840-4700 or visit ccbcmd.edu/quickreg.
If you're looking to make an impact, there's no better place to do that than the U.S. Army. Whether your goal is to fight and cure deadly diseases, develop technologies, or seek adventures across the globe, the Army is where all of that can happen, and so much more. The Army is a team of 1 million individuals working together to take on the most complex problems in the nation and the world, and to win. Ask yourself, what's your warrior? Go to army.com/Baltimore to find out. To learn more, contact your local Army recruiter and find us on social media at U.S. Army Baltimore.
All right, back in here on the Press Box Fantasy Football Show from the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Studio, KZ. By the way, Brian Powell asked what the schedule is for next week. I'm still finalizing that, is what I can tell you.
Oh, right. Next 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, there's no show after that.
No, I know, but picks and stuff.
Oh, for picks, yeah, sure. Well, we'll be here on New Year's Eve. We'll be here. Christmas Eve, we might be here, and there's also a chance that we might not be doing a full GCR. We might just do the Press Box Fantasy Football Show.
I'll be here.
Just say we're working through that. We're working through some plans
just tell
for
me
next
when to
week.
Be here.
It might rain Christmas Eve, apparently. I mean, snow Christmas Eve, apparently.
Okay.
Word is.
Good. Cool.
Streets are talking.
Great. Streets are talking. Let's set some lineups for this week. KZ, here we go. I'll start with me. I feel pretty good in this league. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is if there's any way that I can help myself at tight end. It's all such a crapshoot.
It is.
When it comes to tight end. That, for example, I've got Hunter Henry in the lineup as
You're
of right
starting
now.
Hunter Henry.
Okay, then
He's number 6. I mean, Kelsey, Waller, Hawkinson, Andrews, Tanyan, Henry. Those are my top 6.
All right, then I'm not. My options were Goddard or any of these waiver wire.
I'm not. I'm not getting cute with it. Especially, it's a decent enough matchup. Vegas is missing some guys defensively, and without Mike Williams and maybe a gimpy Keenan Allen, you got to like Henry to get some targets.
I tend to agree with that. Am I starting Chicago's defense?
Here we go with defense.
Am I picking up? I know everyone is hot to pick up the Tennessee defense because they're facing Detroit, but they're still the Tennessee defense.
Stafford, is he out?
We don't know.
He looks out. He looks out.
I get it.
Right,
I get it. It's still the Tennessee defense, and also
Once upon a time, David Blau killed my defense against the Lions without Stafford.
The Buccaneers defense is also available.
Oh, I'm taking the Buccaneers then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I have. I mean, they've played really well. Without Julio Jones, you have a situation where Matt Ryan tends to hold on to the ball a little bit more. You can't run against Tampa. At least you couldn't run against Tampa. You shouldn't be able to run against Tampa. So they're going to have to throw. So there's pick 6 opportunities. Let's put it that way.
This is from Chris, and again, I feel like I'm going to end up having remarkably similar questions from everybody.
That's okay. Everybody's.
It's the tight end position is a disaster. Nobody has an answer when it comes to the tight end position. He wants to know Hunter Henry or Logan Thomas, so I'm guessing you're saying Hunter Henry.
I get the Logan Thomas thing, and Logan Thomas. See, here's where it is. There are guys in my top 10 I really don't love, and Logan Thomas and Dallas Goedert this week are 2 of them. But can I really? I like Cole Kmet, but do I like him enough to put him in my top 10? Evan Ingram, Jordan Reed, Noah Fant, Hunter, Hayden Hurst. Ugh. I mean, no. We're going. Henry's a talent. He's good enough. I'm not going to get too cute here. Good matchup. Been getting targets. We just got to hope he finally gets in an end zone.
That would be nice. M&T Bank is giving you the chance to show off your fandom and your Ravens swag and test your Ravens trivia knowledge in the M&T Bank Hunt for Purple scavenger hunt. Visit huntforpurple.com for the opportunity to win some awesome prizes. I'm going to try to knock out more tight end questions.
Oh, great. Let's stay with tight end.
From Dave, who I think went after me earlier. Dave says, options on the roster, Ebron and Goddard on the waiver wire, Logan Thomas, Cole Kmet.
Ebron. He gets targeted.
He doesn't always catch the football, though.
Great matchup. They haven't benched him yet like they did Deontay Johnson. We're going to go Ebron. The target share is there. Again, I don't even know I'm answering this question. I don't know who the quarterback is for Washington this week.
You mean Cincinnati?
No, he's saying Washington.
For
yes.
Logan Thomas.
Alex Smith.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So, I'm done with Evan Ingram. I'm going Ebron because of the targets.
Okay. Hey, how about another tight end question? Would you be interested in one of those?
Yeah.
How about Noah Fant or Jared Cook?
Yikes.
Go pick up Cole Kmet. Go pick up Cole Kmet. He's on your waiver wire. But if this is it, Fant.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, Cook that
Taysom
offense.
Hill, yeah.
Taysom Hill. I mean, he caught a touchdown last week. Great, but was he even targeted the rest of the game? No.
All right, let me give you one of mine.
Okay.
So obviously I'm starting Dalvin Cook. I need two other running backs.
I'd bench Cook.
Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, James Robinson, Cam Akers, Wayne Gallman.
Congrats.
Yeah, you say that. It's a guarantee that I'm not going to start the right ones.
Okay. I have James Robinson and Akers as my two. Okay, Akers has got to start for me. I just the share the amount of carries he's getting, the commitment to him, and he's getting and again,
and it's the Jets.
And it's
I
the
get
Jets,
the whole
and
deal.
they can score 40
I get
points.
all of it.
And so I'm starting him now.
By the way, Wayne Gallman's been one of the best fantasy backs for the last 6 weeks.
Freddie Kitchens is calling plays.
I understand. It's just I don't want to play him in any way. It's just the reality is
Gallman's
he has
the
been
bottom of this for me.
it really is a Sanders
Sanders.
versus Robinson question.
I have Robinson. I get it. But it's not like you can't run against the Ravens. It's not like he doesn't get touches. They use him in the pass game. He gets 4 or 5 carries, 4 or 5 catches. Higher floor is Robinson.
All right, look at my team and tell me if you think I need a floor.
Ceiling.
You tell me. Look at my team. Tell me if you think I need a floor or a ceiling guy.
Well, I don't. You got to show me your matchup.
I mean,
Sanders seems
I'm
like
facing a good team.
I mean that the run is going to be such a focal point of the Eagles' offense
I agree with
for
you
the entire game. It feels.
I agree
like.
with you. I just.
This is what I'm. This is where I am. You tell me if I need a floor or a ceiling. You tell me who I'm playing based on that. Yeah.
What is this, an 8-team league?
No.
Jesus.
I think it is a 10-team league, though. Actually, if I think about it more.
I think you need a kicker.
I do. I have to drop somebody to get a kicker. I don't want to drop any of those running backs.
I think you need a little ceiling.
He's insulting you, Glenn.
So you think I need
Sanders? Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
He's saying he thinks you're not favored in that match.
Oh, I'm not. I'm
He's
definitely not favored
but
in
he's
that
got
matchup.
some situations.
100%.
Don't really love what the other guy's doing, but I get it.
Although the moment I pick up my kicker, I might actually be suddenly favored in this matchup.
Yeah, you are.
Like,
after you get your kicker, depending on who your kicker is.
So would you drop Herbert or Goddard to pick up a kicker?
Who's your starting quarterback?
Russ.
Who's your starting tight end?
Ebron. Like, I don't want to drop Herbert. I just don't want to do it because he could beat me next week.
That's all you have on your bench are those two?
And all those running backs that I just
You know
named.
your receivers?
Yeah, Mike Williams, who
Drop Mike Williams.
You drop Mike Williams.
you don't think there's a chance he could play next week?
It doesn't
Are
matter.
you going to play him next week?
I might very well play him next week.
you
I could play him over T.Y. Hilton next
No, you
week.
can't.
I could,
You also
100%.
find-
You can also get him.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 teams left.
Yeah, but we compete for other things. I don't think we're the only people that'll be looking for something on the waiver wire. There's other.
If it were me, I would drop Mike Williams because you're not playing him this week. There's a pretty good chance you're not going to play him next week, and there's
And Wilson's
probably a
been
decent
erratic enough where you never,
Yeah, there's a good enough chance that you could use the other pieces. I'm comfortable with a guy that is missing this week's game being injured, he's not going to be a waiver wire priority next week.
And you can find production at receiver easy.
can.
Yes.
I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
God bless you. I don't care what you think.
But
I care about what he
said,
thinks.
But I already told you you don't want to do what I think.
What?
I want you to drop of those choices. I drop Mike Williams.
I don't want to drop any of them.
Okay,
Casey.
but,
if I wanted to drop somebody,
we'll
I
play
would
without
drop
a
somebody.
kicker.
I would argue though that like I can find comparable to Dallas Goedert on the waiver wire.
Sure,
Like that of all of that. There's all the tight ends stink.
they do. But who's on your waiver? Go to your waiver wire right now. This is fascinating.
This
radio.
is so good. Logan Thomas is on the waiver wire.
Okay.
Cole Kmet is on the waiver wire.
Okay, so who is on the waiver wire right now at wide receiver?
Wide receiver waiver wire includes Curtis Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers. It's thin after that.
I would rather have Curtis Samuel than Mike Williams anyway, but be that as it may, sure, you can drop Goddard. Because
you.
there are good enough guys on the waiver
Thank
wire
you.
for 1 week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and ask your question.
I would also drop Mike Williams right away for Curtis Samuel.
He's
By
on,
the way.
he's still on waiver. He's still yeah.
Oh,
I'm not using a waiver.
Okay,
on him.
I'm
I got it.
So I basically currently have Devontae Adams, Juju, and Corey Davis at my 3 receiver spots.
Mm-hmm.
My flex, with all the injuries that I have discussed before, is now between Sterling Shepard,
Hey.
Tyler Boyd,
Hey.
picked up Chad Henson because, by God, it
Yeah.
seems like maybe a dart throw that who knows,
No,
right?
not with Cook's back.
Okay, fair enough. Then I have Chase Edmonds. I don't really want to play both Edmonds
He's
and Drake.
hurt. He's hurt. He may not play.
And then Snell and Lindsey. Now, those are the options on my roster.
That's terrible. There's
Yeah.
got to be somebody better.
By the way, after I
You'd be
picked up my
surprised.
kicker,
your favorite.
no, we're even.
Oh, okay.
Dead
There you
even.
go. There you go. Who'd you pick up?
I picked up Mason Crosby.
So, as far as the top projected players at flex, I just dropped Shark. Not playing him.
No.
Gabriel Davis.
No.
Hunter Renfro. Sammy Watkins.
No.
Jerry Jeudy.
No.
Chenault.
No.
Keelan Cole. Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
I don't think it's getting better.
No, it's
Of course
not.
not.
It's not getting better.
There's the Johnson fella from the Chargers.
So, okay. If Keenan Allen is out, it's Johnson for me. I know it sounds ridiculous. It's Johnson for me of that group.
No, if Keenan Allen's out, I get that, but you're
So if
counting on
Keenan
Keenan
Allen
Allen being
plays,
out. Yeah, right.
Then it's less likely.
So then what do I do then?
Like there is that hole.
Yeah. You liked Renfro, but
Renfro is interesting to me because there's no rugs at all, and you can throw against the slot against the Chargers. Again, they're all dark plays, full PPR, half PPR.
half.
Of course. All these people with half PPR leagues.
Would you settle down?
I know.
Christian Kirk.
No, can't trust that at all. Wow.
Tony Pollard.
No. Who was your top? Who was the first guy you said?
Sterling Shepard. Tyler Boyd.
No, you can't do that.
I know.
He's just been invisible at all.
Gabriel Davis.
I like Gabriel Davis.
I think it may be Gabriel Davis.
By God.
I think it may be Gabriel Davis. He's been targeted in the red zone. There's no John Brown again this week. There's no other really wide receiver that gets any targets. He's targeted 7-8 times a game. I think that's your best chance.
Dang, that's,
All right. What about Dolphins defense?
that sounds like a man who's not taking your
No, I
advice.
think
No,
it's just
it-
not easy to embrace
these
that sort of
these
concept.
are dark
Yeah.
throws. I mean, they are what they are.
Like, I don't know. And then my logic for Shepard, they're not going to be playing from down enough to just need to have completions. But with Colt McCoy,
he was
you know.
so, for 2 weeks he's been just no good.
Yeah, I know.
I
I only just picked him up, but
I just can't. I watch Davis score touchdowns every other week and get targeted. Miami or who?
that was a different. Well, what about the Ravens defense or the Browns defense?
Ravens.
You sure?
Yeah. I have 3-4, to be honest.
You're not. Okay. I guess I asked the
Minshew can throw the pick six pretty easily.
Fair enough. And then I guess that does it.
All right. Dan wants to know Tampa defense or San Francisco defense.
Ooh. I have Tampa slightly ahead. I get the thought with the 49ers defense. I still have Tampa there.
Okay. I think that's it. What else do we need to know about going into the semifinal week?
I hate to say this. Play healthy guys and play guys you know are going to play. I mean, we've been saying it all year, but I know there's a tendency as we're closer to the finish line and the championship round to do I really trust? Can I really want to wait for blah 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 to play? Play guys that are playing tonight and play guys that are playing on Saturday because we know they're playing. Now, there's not that many, from what I can tell, difference makers, whether you're waiting for them on Sunday right now. So if they're marginal, if they're these marginal, kind of like the list that we just went over, and why I like, a guy like Tyrone Johnson, he's going to get targets, he's going to play, and play those guys, and don't have to worry about, oh my God, so-and-so went on the COVID list tomorrow. What do I do now? Do it now.
Just get the guy in. I get it.
Yeah.
I completely
Play
understand
the
what you're
guys.
saying. I totally
Play the
get
guys.
it. Glory Days Grill's fall-winter seasonal menu is now available for dine-in, dine-out on the patio, or to go. It's a new season, so enjoy new flavors. Try their new shrimp appetizers, homemade meatloaf, impossible cheesesteaks, and more. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Visit GloryDaysGrill.com for a location near you. From the Glory Days Grill family, stay healthy and positive during this challenging time in our community. @Fans Fantasy on Twitter is how you follow him. If you didn't get a question in this morning, tweet him up.
Happy to answer.
At all hours. Tweet
all
him at
hours.
3:30 in the morning. He will happily wake up. His wife totally understands. It's very important. That's the way
I
that
sleep
works.
in a different room these 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's just, you know what? I don't blame you for that. Don't blame her for that, really. PressBoxOnline.com also is where you see all of his stuff. We'll be back for Glenn Clark Radio tomorrow morning, and then next week, time TBA. As of right now, it's 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, but that subject to change for the final episode of the Press Box Fantasy Football Show.